Okay, so let's talk about Figma effects. So basically, just for an overview, let me draw a frame. Yeah. So we have drop it down. So we have 7 basic effects in Figma. Yeah. So we have the inner shadow, drop shadow, layer blur, background blur, noise, texture, and glass. Yeah, and each of them have their different use cases. Yeah, so very fast. Let's start from inner shadow. So when do we use inner shadows? Um, Most times it's used to show depth. To understand it is you have a cup. If you look at the cup from the side, it's usually casting a shadow on the platform you put it on, so you can spot the shadow from it on it rather. Then also look inside the cup, it also has shadow inside. Yeah, so that's like the best way to explain inner shadow and drop shadow. So drop shadow is the shadow that reflects off a body that's on the surface. Yeah, and the inner shadow is when you look inside a container. Yeah, how do you perceive it? So that's where inner shadow comes in. Yeah, so since we use cup for example, let's use a circle. Uh, I'm just use wrong shortcuts. So let's use a circle. So I could do this. Let's add the stroke so it's be quite visible. Make it so yeah. So if you're using drop shadow if you're using inner shadow, you'd have something like this. So you add an effect. You can change it here to inner shadow. Yeah. Then you can just adjust it to what you'd want. So you could adjust the x-axis. So where do you want your shadow to start from? Do you want to have just like your moon? Do you want to have it this way? Do you want to elevate it a little? So you could adjust the position of the shadow, adjust the blur. Yeah, let me take down this a little so it's more okay. Could put this here. Yeah, so you could just do all this. This is a very exaggerated version of it. So you could adjust. Let's take down the blur. So basically, there's no rule for it. Basically, what you want to achieve. Let's make y x it's or even 0. Yeah. So in this case, you have your shadow. If I take out the stroke I created, you'd have something like this. So you could, well, you use it when you use your inner shadow when you need it. So if I could have a square also, if I do the same thing, I add my effects, inner shadow. So in this case, you can see the inner shadow is showing um, depth. Yeah, could increase the blur a little. Could adjust the spread. So basically, spread is just um, how wide do you want it to be, your shadow. Yeah. So this, without without any context, this looks like let me adjust the opacity. So let's say 12. Yeah. So this looks like a window, basically. Yeah. So you're looking inside the window, something like this. So let me adjust it a little. Let me make this four. This could be 12. This could be 12. Yeah. So inner shadow basically just shows depth. While if I convert the same, let me just spread a little. Let me increase this one. If I convert the same, so this is looking more. I don't know if you know neumorphism. Yeah, so you could achieve neumorphism effect with this also. Yeah. So if I change the same settings and adjust them to drop shadow, you get the same effect. Yeah, but in this case, the shape looks elevated. Yeah, so you have a shadow beneath it. Most times you don't use shadows. This you could use something around let's say 10. Yeah. But basically, what you notice is the shape is yeah. You can ask a question.
So I noticed that when you switched from inner shadow to drop shadow. The settings were still the same. It just switched to the effect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they work hand in hand.
Okay.
So your inner shadow, your drop shadow is the same thing. You're just adjusting. It's just basically describing what you want. So this is showing depth that you are looking at something that's inside the container. This is showing elevation. You're looking at something that's above the container.
Above. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the major difference between them. So most times you see people do effects like, let me use for example, let me change this to curve time. Let me just put this blue. Let me adjust this to. Let me increase it a little. Yeah. I can take it up now. Let me make this like 4. Yeah, this is just something very fast. This is not the proper way to do it. So you could have something like this and just call it T button. Let me bring it in. Yeah, this is just a super fast way of doing this. It's not okay. I've just done that layout. 24. Okay. All right. So you could have an effect like this. So if I place this in the center and group it, I can make it into a component. Yeah. Can add the so I want to give a visible example of how this can work. Yeah. So I could take out the shadow here. Yeah, and leave it this way. So let me just do something interesting here. So if I prototype this, so this button on hover, and this happens on when pressed. Yeah, I could have. Okay, just for time. Let me drag it into this frame. Could have. So give it a second to load. Can we just down this one? I just give it 10 minutes. Yeah, yeah. So you could see, I don't know if you can see the effects. I'll make it darker so it's be more obvious.
Okay.
Let's make this
I can see.
15. Hmm? Yeah, yeah. So it gives you that. You could use this for your buttons. It gives you that depth. Like your button is 3D.
Yeah, it's not,
Yeah, this is a rough way.
it's not just black.
Yeah, this is a very rough way to do it. Exactly. This is a very rough way to do it, but there are better ways to do it. But I don't take so much time. Okay, we could make this. Let's fade this a little. Not so much. Yeah. So that's basically how you can apply your inner shadows. Yeah. So it's usually used for buttons and some other neomorphism style. Yeah. So I think I've talked about inner shadow and drop shadows. So drop shadows when on your cards. You know how you scroll through an e-commerce platform like Jumia, Amazon, and the likes. Yeah. So sometimes you don't want to separate your cards with. Let me give you an example. Let me do it another frame. So if I make curve time, okay, not curve time. I can do that. It's not something difficult. Splash. It's more obvious. I could have easily used auto layouts, but can just for example, I don't have to be accurate. So you notice outside this shape here. Let me make it more interesting. Yeah. So you can see when you see it this way, yeah, you can see your cards. So in this case, this could be something like um nature. You could have come. Just want to give this example so you understand how cards work. And you could have a verb with seven photography. Make this one regular. Let's make this 12 or 10. This is just example, so it's I'm not basically finding any rule here. Okay, it's worked. Yeah. So if I want to make this into cards, different cards, so you notice that because I used a white background here, and the background is also white, you really can't see this card in total. Yeah, I could easily come here, probably add a stroke, take it down a little, and it becomes more visible. Yeah. Let me make it so it's more obvious. Make this into a component. Sorry, so 1, 2, 3, and I want to 1, 2. Let me add an auto layout. Yep. Okay. So like I was trying to explain, um, if I take out the stroke, it becomes more difficult to notice or to see the difference between the cards, or let me call it demarcation. Ways we do it, you could add a stroke, which easily gives you a boundary around each card. Yeah, I could also easily add um, an effect as a shadow. So if I had a drop shadow, I take it, no, I take it to the left, to the right rather. So I make this to make it a little bit blur, and then make this about 8. Yeah, yeah. So it becomes more softer. Let me make it. Let me see how 12 look like. Okay, work this way. So it becomes more softer this way. I could make this 24. Adjust the width. Yeah. So I don't know if you understand. So shadows makes your cards softer. This is just a very fast way of explaining how we use card shadows and likes. You could also use shadows in other ways. Um, yeah, but you can use it to separate your cards and likes. Yeah. So inner shadow you could use it for buttons and any other creative way. You could also use your drop shadows for your cards this way. Yeah. There are also other use cases. It just depends on the moment that you're in. So I need a shadow at this moment to use it. So there's no rule for using your effects. All right. So what's the next effect? That's if I can remember, it's layer block. Cool. All right. Let's do something interesting for the layer block. There are a lot of ways of creating layer blocks or of using your layer blocks. Yeah. But one very interesting way is to you could have gradient background. I don't know if you have seen. I'll give you an example now. So let me draw lots of circles, for example. 1, 2, 3. Is this too much? No. Let's do something this way. Let me give each of them a color. Let me make this blue. Alright. Let's make this. Let's make this yellow. Let's make this. Can we just use all the colors here? There's no rule. What color banner is green? Alright, let's just use this way. If I could group it. Oh, this is not. Is this a film? No. Make it a film. Let's assume this is a mobile screen. I could drag it in. Probably make the background color. What color? Although let's leave it this way. I could adjust the width. You just have to give a creative way of layer blur. Is the simple definition of layer blur is blurring the layer. I don't think there's a more simpler way to define it. So I could come here to each of the circles and blur them out. So now what you get is something like this. I don't know if you have seen backgrounds that look
It's
this
looking
way.
more like a gradient now.
Yeah. So you could see how they all blend into each other. Let me create a little. Yeah, I'll even do something even more cooler with it. So now I have a background with this gradients, soft gradients, uh, blending into each other. Let me make this a little bit more purple. I think this blue is kind of sharp compared to the others. So let's make, yeah, something. This is cool. All right, blue is dark. Trying to just find the best color for it. Let's put it here. Yeah, this looks cool. Like I was saying, there's no rule. So yeah, so these are, we could use layer blurs this way to have this soft blending background, gradient background. Now let's do something again. The next effect is background blur. Yeah, let's do something. Let me create something very funny. Let me create a profile. Let's call this frame. Let's call it frame case. And you are a designer. Yeah, let me make this a little bigger. Call this 20. Okay, no rule. Auto layouts. Make this bold. Yeah, make it straight. Okay, content. Yeah, so I could make this your profile picture. Let's make this 48. Oh, it's not 48. Cool. Spacing 12. 12 is okay. Let's leave it. Yeah. I'll do something very interesting that I feel you might like. So stay tuned. Let me use a random profile. What is avatar? Sorry. User profile. Let me kiss me. So for shit, that's a mistake. Sorry, I want it here. So forgive the profile picture. I know it's not you. Okay. All right. So I want to create a card for you. Let's make this. Let's add little. Let's make this white around the edges. Like I said, I'm not following any rules, so forgive some assumptions I'm making. Let me just change it. Okay, black, and this gray. So you see what I'm about to do. I'm hoping you like it. Yeah, so it's more or less like you mostly see it in iPhones um system. Make this 8 face. Make 8. Let's make sure that on this completely. And what am I doing? I was about to say okay. Yeah, take it up a little. 25. Yeah. So next is I'm about to show is background blur. So you notice this is layer blur. Then we have background blur. So if I do something like this and I apply background blur, for example, so effects. So you can see drop shadows elevates, um, inner shadow gives you depth in your card. Then we have layer blur. Layer blur just blurs out whatever layer or elements you are currently selecting. There's also progressive. Okay, I did not talk about it. So there's also progressive. So layer blur just this gives you the intensity of blur. Yeah, then we have progressive blur. So progressive blur, you could go from sharpness to blurriness. So for example, now probably you just want people to know the name of the person. yeah, without them knowing the profile picture. Maybe like a announcement. Like for example, you're trying to announce someone or something. You could just show the name, and probably when you're ready, you can make this live. So you could blow out a part. You could drag it out. So you have it blur from one side and solid at the other side. So that's what progressive bar is. So you can adjust how it starts. You can make this very blur. You can see. You could also adjust the end. Um, so more or less like this is my start. You can see the label. This is my end. So you could adjust it to whatever direction you want. So you could use it on whatever layer you want to use. Like I said, there's no law, there's no rule. Uniform just gives you a uniform blur. Yeah, cool. So I think I've explained layer blur. The next is background blur. Now you don't see anything at first because um to see background blur, yeah, you need to have a background. You need to have how do I put it now? Like glass, yeah. If you coat, if you completely coat glass, probably make it or a cup rather. You coat a cup completely plastic, you can't see through it, so there's no background. But if you use a glass, yeah, you can see through it. So any form of transparency, you can achieve background blur. So to use background blur, you have to add transparency. So let's reduce this to like let's say 80. Yeah, or let's make it more so it's more visible. Let's make it 60. Yeah. So you don't still see anything. That's because I made the background. The background is already blurred. So now to make it so I could see it clearly, let me take out the effect I added here. Yeah, blur. So now if I do this, if I take down the transparency to like 20, yeah, could probably even make this white so it's more visible. Like I said, no law. I could add a little stroke. Let me make it this way somewhere. Let me make it white and just reduce the transparency of the yeah. So you start getting once you're adjusting all this, you start getting some glass effects. So if you can see the background, the background is sharp. Well, the background is sharp till you get to the shape. Then you can see it's all blurred out.
So was it
Let's.
just the layer and the background blur that you adjusted to get this glass effect?
I don't get the question. Sorry.
I'm saying, was this just background blur and layer blur that you adjusted?
Okay, so what I did was I took out the like on this shape now.
Yes, on the shape.
I added layer blur to it before, but because I wanted to show you how background blur works,
Yeah,
I wanted
okay.
to see. So I wanted to show you the sharp edges of the shapes. But once you get to be, want to see behind the layer that you are looking at or that you apply the background blur to, you realize that at the background, whatever is at the background becomes blurred. So let's make it more obvious. Let's
Okay.
make this white. No, let's make this black. So you can see the background is blurred
Yeah.
out. So that's our background blur. It gives you this um glassy
Glass
effect.
effect, yeah.
Yeah, it gives you a glassy feel. Yeah. So that's how background blur works. So you add the transparency to whatever you want you want blurred at the background. So if I change this color, so you can see it still maintains the blurriness. Yeah, but it's cool. It's actually very cool. So you could change the color, make it blue. So, so like make it like a tint. So your glass is tinted glass basically. That's what you're doing. You could even take it all out. No, it have to be a level of feel. So it's even if it's there'll just be something. If you take it completely to the end, it gives you a solid color. Take it if you totally take out the feel, you just basically seeing through. Yeah, so it has to be somewhere in the middle. Let's keep it somewhere. Yeah, yeah. So this look cool. So that's how background blur works. I hope I'm not too fast.
No, not at that time.
Yeah. So it basically you use it basically according to your creativity, like what you want to use it for. So there's no one way to use it. Yeah. So that's background blur. The next effect is I think noise. Yeah, noise. So I think I can still use noise on this background. So noise is how do I describe it now? Okay, typically if let me add also another thing you should know about effects is that you can layer effects, meaning you can put one effect over another effect. Yeah, so I have a background blur effect. I could add okay, I could add another should I just take it out? I could add another effect called noise. So okay, in this case now you can see a drop shadow. Add it so it has both background blur and the drop shadow. Hope you can see the drop shadow on it. Yeah. So you have both block shadow, drop shadow. I could change the color of the noise. You're not restricted. So let's add noise. So noise basically adds noise. See that's the definition. So I have a better definition, but noise basically adds noise to your effects.
Kind of like
Um,
texture now, like a rough.
exactly. Like a rough texture to it, so you could adjust this, make it very, yeah. So it gives you this more realistic glassy effect. Okay, or whatever it is, it gives you that roughness. Make it bigger. It looks more military patterned. Yeah, so more like military camo. Yeah, but if you take it down, you have all this tiny noise, TV noise. The density is how packed it is. So it's 100% packed. You could make it more scattered, just so that you can see it. Let me increase the size. Yeah, so this is more packed. If you reduce the density, it keeps going down, so it's more scattered this way. Yeah, so it goes down. Yeah, and then you can also change the color of the noise. Yeah, so I think if you want to use noise for something like cards, yeah, instead of using auto layout, you could apply the noise to your frame. No, I think it will not work that way. Let me try it. I doubt it would work. So if I add my, you don't I've not experimented that before. So you create your frame, you add your effect, you add your noise. Yeah, let me take out the noise here. Let me take it out. Let me not take it out. Let me just hide it. So I could easily just to test. I've not tested that here before. Yeah, so if you add it, would it pick it up? Yeah, okay. It picks it up. Okay, it actually picks it up. I don't just confirm. So if you want to use both of them together, um, you'd have to you'd have to use group instead. So I don't want you to enter the frame. What's the shortcut again? Sorry. So it just picks all of them together, and so it only works if you group it. How would I explain this now? If you put this inside, if you put it inside the frame, yeah, what happens is ignore it. Sorry. Put inside the frame. What happens is that your layer takes the property of the frame. It picks up the property of the frame. Yeah. So if you want to combine both of them together, instead of putting the shape inside the fill inside the so putting whatever layer you want to put inside the frame, you just group them, or else you take the property of the frame. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. So whatever shape, whatever I put, the effects affect the I don't know if that what I just said makes sense. Yeah. So basically if you apply property to a frame, all the elements you put inside that frame takes the property of that particular frame. So that's the effect of the frame. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. So let me delete this. So that's how layers, that's how noise work. So you could add it to so you could add it to no, let's not do that. Okay, you could add it to your layers. So if I add noise to all these shapes I created, let's add effects, let's add noise. Yeah. So it makes it looks cooler. Let's let it increase gap. Yes, too much, too much. Okay, let's put it somewhere. Black, because the color is black, you can't see the effect. So let's make this bluish. Backs are blue. Yeah, I think the opacity is too intense. Yeah, we could take it down a little. So you could adjust the opacity here. So this is very black. This is nothing. Yeah, so put it somewhere probably like 12. So you can adjust the opacity of your text of your noise. So the other difference. So we have duo. So that's like you combining two colors together. So make this one red. So you have black and red. You could make this one. Let's see yellow. Yeah. So basically you combining two colors. They're multi. It gives you multi. So let's just put ammonia just to simplify things. Probably make this white. Then reduce the opacity to like 7. Yeah. All right. Cool. So we have this. What's next? Next effect is let's take this one out. What's the next effect? That's texture. Should I add texture to this? Yes. Let's add texture. So let me add it to this. So it's not texture is almost like noise. Yeah. Um, let us click a new frame instead. It's more obvious. So add an effect. Pick texture. It's what's the word now? It gives your frame or layer a texture. So more or less like the same way inner shadow gives you your text your shadow inside and drop shadow gives you your shadow outside. Noise gives you your texture inside. Yeah, and what do you call it? Texture gives you your noise outside. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, so you can see it applies some texture to the boundaries. I can adjust it, make it more noisy. Yeah. So I think you just increase it, it looks weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's looking
then
like
make
some
it
of those. You know when you have cutouts.
yeah, cut out animation. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so you could use it for paper effects. I think it'll be very cool for paper effects. Yeah, this is very cool for weird paper effects. Then radius, adjust the radius. Basically, it's already looking like a continent. This is like Australia. It's looking like Australia already. Um, you can adjust the radius. You're basically just playing around. That's just the point. Clip to shape. Could clip it to the shape. Does not make so much sense, but clipping just clips everything else. Probably because the boundaries on shape. So yeah, so that's texture basically. Yeah. So you could use it or whatever you'd want to use. A ton. There's no rule. There's no law. There's no rule of engagement. Just you enjoying yourself. So the last one is glass. So the best way to do the glass, I'll use this for example. So this gives you a glassy effect here. Maybe not glass, it looks more like plastic, a transparent plastic. Let's see. I meant you. Yeah. It gives you this transparent plastic effect, but not glass. Yeah. So now let's switch over to glass effects then. So I could come here to glass. Yeah, so now you get a proper glass effect. Let me take out my stroke. Yeah, stroke just adds you don't need stroke. When you're using glass effect, you don't need stroke. You probably don't even need fill. You could take out your fill. So now you just want to focus on just glass. So you could come adjust the angle. So in this case, you could see the sun, the light rather, is pointing from top. It's pointing at the top left corner. So that's why the top left corner is brighter than most other sides. So it's more like the light is coming this way. You could adjust the angle. You could adjust the angle so you could see that the effects it's going around. Yeah, so you could adjust the angle of the glass of the lights rather. You could adjust the intensity of the lights. Could make it brighter. So this is very bright. Yeah, it could also make it. Now you have turned off the lights, so there's no more glass effect. So it has to be somewhere. You could take it down. Does not matter. Yeah. So refraction. How do I explain refraction? Okay, let me take. Have I taken it out? Yeah, I have. So refraction is, well, in physics, refraction is how much light bends when. So if I don't know if you did physics in school, so you point light at water, it's refracts at a particular angle. So that's basically how glass works. So light is going from one medium to another. At what angle or how much refraction do you want that glass to have? What's the depth of the glass? What's there again? Dispersion. Then we have frost. So you notice at zero. So this looks very glassy-ish. Yeah. So first, I don't know how to explain first. Uh, okay, let me put it somewhere. Yes, I think the other effect will be more visible if I put this at 1 or 2. Yeah. Yeah. So if I change dispersion, you could change. So basically, just you playing around. There's no law. There's no rule. Play around with the depth. So depth is probably like the depth of the glass itself. How much depth does the glass have? Then refraction. So you could see, like I explained, when I explained diffraction was the angle by which light refracts when it goes into a medium. So you point light at glass, you could see that the angle changes. Yeah. So if I take it up to the top, it bends more. If I take it back to zero, it continues the parts of the shape. Yeah. So you could you could play around with it. If you don't want it, you could take it out. If you don't want, you could leave it. No, there's no law. Yeah, so you could take out, reduce the intensity of the light, so you have more, the angles, the corners are not so intense. Maybe that 40, no, maybe that 30. So now you have the glass effect, very cool glass effect. So I don't know if you notice, it started from iPhone. iPhone had this liquid glass um theme a few months ago. Yeah, and that's when all this started coming to light. So yeah, so you can play around with it, have fun. Like I said, no law, no rule. You could play around. Yeah. So now you have your glass effect. So glass almost works like background blur, but just more cooler. Yeah, you're a graphic designer, so there are plenty use cases to use this with. Yeah, so you could adjust lights. Let's just leave it. Let's not play around with it too much. All right, so cool. So any questions so far? I think I've covered all the effects basically. Is there any questions so far?
No question really. Just showing me how these softwares kind of have a lot of similarities because all of these effects that you just taught have the equivalents on Photoshop. Just that I never knew that
Yeah, sure.
I could find them on Figma as well.